Hi guys, we are doing MYOB case study this year. This year's case study is about utilizing data and machine learning to create business success in a COVID-19 environment. I'm Delia. I'm currently majoring in accounting and human resources management with a bachelor's degree in of management studies at the University of Waikato.
Hi, I'm Georgie. I have an undergraduate degree in marketing and I'm currently studying a postgraduate diploma in ICT at the University of Otago.
Hi, I'm Siwan and I'm majoring in Finance and Information Science in University of Otago.
Corona time. So Corona has caused many disruptions among many different industries around the world. So for us, New Zealand and Australia, the overall revenue has decreased in the retail industry. There has been changes in consumer behaviors and trends. E-commerce have been on the rise. According to the tech survey, 52% of the small to medium enterprises in New Zealand are unable to or don't want to adapt to the e-commerce wagon. And 45% of those 52% are in retail and hospitality industry. This comes to our problem. How can we help businesses in the retail industry with physical stores to operate more efficiently in the new environment of COVID-19? Moving on to the next slide, it shows COVID-19 impact on technology. According to the tech survey, about more than half of them are planning or likely to look at more opportunities to use technology in the business. 71% of those likely to look at more opportunities are from the retail and hospitality industry. Their main concerns to look into technology was to increase production and to increase efficiency. This brings to our solution, Opcast. Opcast is a forecasting software which analyzes the data collected to generate reports of recommendations for the week. So moving on to the next slide, what is Opcast? Opcast collects data from the public domains and analyzes it to do a forecast for the next week to create reports that generates and gives you recommendations on what number of staff is needed, what are the peak hours, do we have any other duties that need to be allocated differently? So if 9 to 10 is a peak hour, there would be 2 staff there, and 10 to 1 is a slow day, then those staff could be at the back processing online orders or other administrative work that needs to be done. So decisions are made with the help of reports. So the management comes in to look at the reports and determine what the peak hours are, what number of staffs are needed, and what allocation of duties could be done. They could be like, oh, we can do a stock take for this day in this week because it would be a slow time, whereas during the peak time, they could just focus on selling their products. This creates more productivity and more efficiently in the business. Moving on to the next slide, it shows the product characteristics. What makes a product better? What's actually the product doing? How is it helping? It's actually making the best of the human resources available to increase productivity and efficiency. It gives information that could be understood and is reliable in a timely fashion. This helps the users of the reports to make informed decisions at the right time, increasing productivity and efficiency. This report is a cloud-based software, so it can be accessed anywhere, anytime. It doesn't have to be at work. It could be at home. Managers working from home could look at the forecast and do a shift rosters. Then unique proposition of this forecasting software is that it's completely different to the ones that's already in the market. In the market, there's like demand works, budget. All of them are like based around forecasting software involves of sales forecasting, demand forecasting, inventory forecasting, or budget planning forecasting. So this is quite different to Opcast, which is actually looking at the human resources available and how we can allocate them, delegate their duties, and how many human resources we need to increase productivity and efficiency. So moving on to the next slide, it shows a product prototype, and I'll hand that over to Suvan.
Hi, I'm going to talk about Opcast and how Opcast is based on using mobile apps, as it is easily accessible at the touch of their fingertips. Businesses get to see how the work weekly roster is like, how it would be arranged, where businesses can use to refer which hour they should have more employees or have no employees at all. If they didn't like it, they could edit the roster, as we also flame for flexibility within that software. Moving on to the next slide, it provides weekly analysis and like factors that could influence the report, that contributes to the report, such as weather forecast, the average foot traffic, the current trends, and the peak hours. Moving on to the next slide, where we'll be talking about resource management, where businesses will have to input relevant resources, such as weekly revenue, hours operating, so that the software can generate reports that are customized to the businesses themselves. Moving to the next slide, I'm going to talk about how the data is going to be collected. This data, the data we're going to collect would be the weather, which would be collected by the public API, the seasonal trends, which is going to be used using Google Analytics to catch on the current trends of the season, which by using the most search within that region, the average foot traffic among the area, which will be retrieved using Google Street View, the peak hours, which would be estimation of peak hours collected via Google Analytics, and then lastly would be the weekly revenue and hours operating per day. This data would be provided by the businesses themselves, which would be used for customization of the report, and we are utilizing these data to analyze and predict optimal use of business resources. Moving on to the next slide, I'm going to talk about how we are going to build Opcast. For this data collected will be used for analysis and training of Opcast, and then this data will be uploaded using Microsoft Azure Machine Learning to gain data insights, which will be then to build predictive engine, which mainly suggests time slots and dates that requires more attention. Thank you, and I'll pass it on to my teammate Georgie.
Oh, thank you. So I'll be talking about the Agile development sprints as well as our business model and marketing. So we have 9 Agile sprints broken into 4-week development blocks. Overall, our final product will take 9 months to build. Key features of the sprint begin with creating the forecasting model of our application. As we plan to use data that is publicly accessed, it is important to consume public APIs and store data efficiently, because later on in the development, this data will be used to build a machine learning model on. Testing the product is essential to ensure that it's fit for purpose of our less technically capable users. So, our marketing plan. We're taking consumers down the awareness funnel with goals elaborated on at each stage of the funnel. Our marketing plan is based off using digital marketing methods such as content creation, online ads, SEO, and pay-per-click marketing. It also aligns with our sales projection model. Later down the funnel, sales conversions occur through engaging with the customer through email marketing, persona-specific pathways, compelling content, and a referral program. This is all focused on getting conversions or interested consumers to put their money where their mouth is. Our business model. 97% of small businesses are represented here in Australia and New Zealand, and these businesses need to be supported the most in trying times and economic recessions. A low price business model makes the product attainable to these businesses, with a SaaS model ranging from $20 for small businesses and large businesses paying up to $500 per month. With 167,000 retail businesses in Australia and New Zealand, 55% of those are seeking tech solutions to their problem. Which brings us to our financials. The cost of Opcast to build it is $256,462. And this will be the cost of building it over the 9-month development sprint. This employs 3 developers and a marketing specialist. Our adoption curve assumes slower market adoption in early days, and although once our market is fully saturated and we achieve full market saturation, we will have 92,000 users with $29 million in annual recurring revenue throughout Australia and New Zealand. Our ask. So we need support with our IT expertise, and winning MYOB Case Study Challenge will help us with that, as we'll be able to bring a prototype to the market. We also want to build credibility to our young professional portfolios, and also help businesses survive throughout New Zealand and Australia in these trying economic times. We also believe our product aligns with MYOB's strategic goals to introduce cloud-based products and softwares. So we would like to win MYOB Case Study Challenge so we can do this and support them. Cool. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we're looking forward to seeing what's next.